traversing the strange world with peace and Toodles.
Welcome back, everybody.
Yes, welcome.
To another episode of Traversing the Strange World with Peace.
And Toodles, that's me.
Peace and Toodles here in the studio.
In the stew.
Bringing you something funky, fresh.
Cooking up a stew with some strangeness.
A strange stew. Makes me think of that stew that Esau made for Jacob in Genesis.
The one that Esau traded for everything.
His birthright.
And ended up being cursed. Hey, that goes right into the theme of today.
I was just about to say that. Today we will be...
We didn't even think of that one.
We'll be traversing the outback. We'll be dabbling in maybe some of the more unknown, obscure stories of the Old Testament.
The Old Testament.
The Tanakh, as it's called in Judaism.
Genesis through Malachi.
The Hebrew Bible.
Yes.
Biblos.
The law that Jesus fulfilled.
Coptic for library.
So
Toodles.
Yes, sir.
Well, you said so first.
Well, I did say so, because I said so. But first we have our segment.
Yes, our first segment of the show.
Updates. Ponderings. Reflections.
Of Peace and Toodles.
You know, the first voice in that is Peace, and the second one's me, in case you wondered.
Toodles, yeah.
It's pretty obvious, though. You have a much, much nicer voice.
Ponderings.
Of Peace and Toodles.
What did you do to make it sound so, like, raspy and robotic?
To those that are audio nerds like me, it's a little plug-in called Little Altar Boy. It's very fun and worth it. Highly recommend. It's made by Sound Toys.
Sound Toys. Probably most familiar of those who are in the audio engineering world.
They're also the creators of the saturator called the Decapitator, which is also a very handy plug-in.
What does that do?
It makes my squeaky, pathetic little vocals sound fuller and deeper than they actually are. So, updates.
Ponderings, reflections. How about you go first, Jonathan?
Oh, I was going to ask you about your cripple arm.
Ah, yes, my ailment.
Your infliction.
My affliction. Yes, I have been wearing this cast. By the time I get it off on Tuesday, it'll be 12 days.
Do you always wear it with those little short shorts?
No, but I have mostly in the time wearing this cast wore short shorts.
You're practically in here wearing nothing.
Gym shorts. Once again, Jonathan is body shaming me.
You have like 2-inch long shorts and a tank top.
As I stated
the most
in previous,
skin that is covered on your body is by that sling.
As I stated in previous episodes, powerlifters wear short shorts, tight shorts, so that when you're squatting, you can make sure you're parallel to the floor, your hammies, your hamstrings.
But you could do that with tight pants.
It's true. I never wear pants to the gym. I always wear shorts.
I never wear shorts to the gym.
I have some decently muscular legs, and they're tan and hairy, and I like to show them off.
Man, mine will light up the midnight darkness.
Color-wise, me and Jonathan are kind of like yin and yang. You know when John at the beginning of Revelation says that he saw a bright light could almost blind one.
Just me walking by.
It's just Jonathan's legs and his white socks. He has white legs and white socks. I have tan legs and black socks. He is Christian. I am agnostic. It's the duality of...
I'm pretty sure that you're darker than my Mexican wife.
I will check before I leave today.
I'm pretty sure. Which is crazy.
She'll be like, why are you putting your arm up to me?
What country are you from anyway, like your family?
So I think the tan complexion, my mom, I think she has like... It's less than 10% Italian.
Italians are pale as sheets.
That's the only thing. And then, well, we have a lot of Irish. And
They're even whiter yet.
well,
What do you mean?
I've heard before that there were Irish that they were like the very pale, gingerly types, and then there was Irish where it was more common for Irish to have like black beards and maybe a dark tanner skin. Yeah, so that might be where I get it. So yeah. If you've seen, if you haven't seen us in person, and you've seen our the cover art to our podcast, I'm the bearded one with the stocking cap in the van.
I'm the nerdy glasses clad white man.
You have sunglasses on.
I do?
Yeah, we both have sunglasses on, including
I
the
thought
Sasquatch.
they were regular glasses.
Yeah.
Well,
The
shows what I know.
Sasquatch is there to represent the missing link that man searches for in myth and history.
If anybody knows the Bigfoot's phone number so we can hit him up for an interview, you should let us know. Because he's been around Instagram leaving these stupid vlogs. You see those?
Yes. No. Oh,
Man.
yeah.
I'm telling you. He's got time for all that, and he can't come on here for a little interview.
I know.
Like, what's
He's
wrong with this world?
Like making 10,000 reels a day.
Didn't he eat a condom on one of them?
He's eaten mushrooms. He's ate all kinds of stuff. Usually after he eats something, he's like running through the woods saying that it went wrong.
Stupid Bigfoot. See, come on here and we'll give you some practical life advice to avoid some of these situations.
Yeah. Don't eat mushrooms in the woods.
Yeah, man, if you don't trip
See
see magical colors, you might die. It's like there's no good outcome from eating mushrooms.
There's there's like certain ones where he's like on these adventures with this friend of his named Downsy.
Downsy.
He has Down syndrome.
Aw.
I think in this past year, some of like the PC regulations might have changed on like Facebook or YouTube, because I'm seeing a lot more stuff that's not politically correct.
I think people are tired of it. Like, it's been so extremely censored that I feel like it kind of just makes you not care as much anymore.
Now that it's not being censored, people are almost like celebrating their
pendulum always swings, right? It went one way for a while, and it's gonna come back, and then it'll swing to the right, and then it'll go back and swing to the left. That's just how it works. It's just another one of those social cycles.
I agree.
So I don't know if I have many updates, really, except making some new songs. I hit up a videographer that hopefully, makes musical videos.
In terms of learning, I was kind of taking this week easy for the most part. Just, I'll typically listen to Data Over Dogma, Religion for Breakfast. I like listening to anything on YouTube or podcast related that's, centered around the Bible from like an academic perspective, or religion from like an informative perspective.
I gotta update. My coil packs finally came for my boat motor that I've been waiting on since like 3 months ago.
Hell yeah.
So now that summer's 3/4 of the way over, I can finally fix my boat and get it on lake.
Yeah.
For what little dwindling time remains.
Well, what was it you've taken out on the lake? Is that your kayak or canoe?
That's a canoe, man. Built by my grandpa himself.
Where's your boat?
It's at my uncle's.
Oh.
With the motor sitting in a tank of water waiting for these stupid coils to get here so I can fix it and test it.
Well, are you going to do that later today?
You want to come help?
I would, but I have some plans to go visit my in-laws today.
That doesn't sound fun.
I enjoy
Do you have
company.
good in-laws?
I do.
Oh, that's nice. That helps.
I do.
I do too.
But if anything changes, maybe I'll go.
So with that being said, let's get into the strangeness.
Well, wait a second.
The strangeness of the Old Testament.
You darn dirty update hogger. I was about to share with the kind audience what I've been listening to in terms of audiobooks.
Religion for Breakfast, Data Over Dogma. I'm listening.
The books. The Mountain Is You by Brianna West. That's actually
pretty sure I just listened to that. What?
That's actually, it's kind of like, it's a book centered around psychology, self-development, dealing a lot with trauma. I believe it's touched a little bit on repressed memories.
Look at the 4th book down in that list.
You have that coming up to read?
I just got it, yeah.
You just got it. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Well, yeah.
That Muse Strikes Again must be the same one.
What got you interested in that book? That doesn't seem like your typical book.
Self-development.
I feel like that's more psychology.
Pretty applicable. Dude, I have so many psychology books. Like the Epic of Gilgamesh? Like, come on.
Very psychological.
We got extreme ownership on here. Tuning the Human Biofield. There's a weird one. Talk about strange.
The Answer to Job by Carl Jung. He is that's his book where the Swiss psychologist Carl Jung, he gives his reflections and ponderings about the book of Job from the perspective of a psychologist. I have been learning about Gnostic philosophy from ancient Persia to modern times, and that book is by Tobias Schurten. I believe that's how you pronounce his name.
Psychology by Jack Steele. The War of Art. Law of Attraction
by Emily Nagoski, PhD. I think that's how you say her name.
Top 5 Regrets of the Dying.
Biography of Satan by Kirsty Graves.
That sounds interesting.
It's pretty good. I believe it's written by a Satanist.
Behold a Pale Horse.
What's that book about?
The End Times. The Mastery of Life, a Toltec Guide to Personal Freedom, and another Law of Attraction.
Ooh, if you're interested you should check out
Unleash the Power Within by Tony Robbins, man.
Check out the 4 Agreements.
Who wrote that? I'll check it out. See, I pay for these. Do you listen on Spotify?
This is gonna be on my...
I'm salty against Spotify because, like, you only get so many minutes a month, and sometimes these big old beastly books, you can't even finish one book.
Yeah, I know. I'm going to have to find something better.
I use Libby sometimes, but they're kind of limited on the selection.
Because I'll be learning about something for the podcast, like a topic we want to cover, and then
you have reached.
I'll run out of minutes, and then so I got to move over to YouTube and start finding videos over there. The 4 Agreements. Let me find that, and then we'll wrap up this segment. Where is it?
Then we have the classic 12 Rules for Life. I know you know that one.
Don Miguel Ruiz. Oh, yeah, 12...
Don Miguel Ruiz, he's the guy that wrote that one that I just...
4 Agreements. It's
he wrote The Mastery of Life.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, it's from Toltec philosophy. They're both derived from that.
Look at us, man. We're reading like the same stuff.
Well, I read this book a number of years ago, or listened to it more accurately.
Think and Grow Rich. Come on. Napoleon Hill. Classic.
You know, being a business owner, I actually don't listen to a lot of business-related books.
Got some Grant Cardone in here. That'll get... Frick, that guy. 12 Pillars. Secrets of Selling.
You mentioned 12 Rules for Life. I've been
Jordan Peterson himself, the man.
Yeah, I've been kind of refreshing myself with Jordan Peterson because in a few weeks from now, Stilly had said something about with us doing an episode about discipline and how it's changed throughout years, our view on discipline and our approach to it. Or ways we approach it.
That'd be interesting to get our 3 different opinions on that, because I'm sure that we're very different.
And for me, a matter of years ago, I used to listen to Jordan Peterson all the time. Like, most of my day was spent listening to his podcast or one of his audiobooks. I still think Jordan Peterson, like, I think he has a lot of good things to say. Like, I like what he has to say I like how he connects psychology, self-development with various archetypal characters and stories from myth and whatnot. However, something that I've kind of gotten a bad taste in my mouth from Jordan Peterson
Why'd you go visit him?
No.
Okay. That's why you're wearing those shorts.
Just he talk like when he goes on when he's ranting about people on the left. Like he'll go on these rants where he's really, I feel, broad brushing, like leftist, nihilist, postmodernist, liberal.
He's talking about the extreme left.
Right, but not everybody who's an atheist is a nihilist. Not everybody who, like, it's... There's a lot of people on the left that I think, in terms of, like, archetypes and myth and the way he relates that to, you know, the modern human predicament and growing, you know, being a more orderly person. I think if he would put less people in the political spotlight of, like, draw less of an us versus them, and he would focus more on, like, psychology, since he is a psychologist, I think he would appeal to a wider audience. Not that that's necessarily what he's doing, but I guess maybe not appealing to a broader audience should be the goal, but I feel like I would like his stuff a lot more if he would just not go on these tangents where he's broad brushing people and kind of painting an us versus them mentality.
Division.
Yes.
You ready to get into the meat of this topic?
Hell yeah. And like Cody Jinks said, somewhere in the middle is just fine. That's where I land. So that's why I don't like the us versus them mentality. But yes, let's go into this segment.
Into the girth of the episode.
The meat of the discussion.
Strange Old Testament stories.
Yes, sir.
I think we both got a couple cooked up.
I got at least 10 wrote down.
10?
Yes.
Okay, I got like 3.
Well, I didn't know. Okay, so, fellas, this question applies to you.
Fellers.
Have you ever...
Wait, just fellas?
Yes.
Or fellitas?
No fellitas in this one. Have you ever went to the barber, or maybe you couldn't get an appointment at your barber, who typically cuts your hair and trims your beard, and you go to a hairstylist, you go to maybe Great Clips, and a girl cuts your hair.
Mistake.
And she's like, "Oh, do you want me to trim your beard?" And you're like, and she's like, "I have a lot of experience with beards." And so you let her trim your beard, and you basically want to hide your face from existence, from society for a few months till it grows back in its full majestic form.
She shaved it?
Well, that's a segue into this first Bible story.
Somebody got shaved. Oh, is it Samson?
King David. In 2 Samuel chapter 10, King Hanun of the Ammonites humiliates King David's men. So King David sends some messengers as like emissaries to the king of the Ammonites. And as a response, I can't remember what it is that they were coming to talk to him about, but as a response, the king cuts off half their beards and cuts their tunic off at the waist, exposing their butts.
Is that your inspiration for your shorts?
And no. And as a result, they go hiding in a cave, and King David tells them, he meets with them, and he tells them, "Wait here in the cave for a good amount of time until your beards grow back."
And then what?
That's it.
Why?
He's telling them to separate themselves from society till their beards grow back. Well, clearly the king...
Did they have oaths that they had to have their beards long?
No, it seems as though the king was doing this as a way to emasculate them, exposing their butts. The beard was like a symbol of strength and masculinity in the Semitic world. And so
Good thing I wasn't born back then. Couldn't grow one if I wanted to.
You got a chin warmer you're sporting.
That's literally the only thing that grows.
I've seen you with a decent mustache. You could grow a goatee.
Yeah, but like I never shave my cheeks. It's just not there. There's nothing there.
Wow. I have to trim my beard.
I'm facially bald.
At least once a week. Like mostly the cheeks, the cheek area. Those kind of like to form wings and stick out.
I got other places to compensate though.
Okay, well, that's good.
So how about Joshua and the Battle of Jericho, where he's leading these Israelites, the Israelite nation, to overtake this city that has walls surrounding it so thick that 2 chariots can ride around on the top side by side.
Mm-hmm.
And what does God tell him to do? March around the city 7 times.
7 days.
7 days.
Just like in Gilgamesh.
And on the final day, blast your trumpets. And they did so. Walk around the city for a whole week. And on the 7th day, these walls that are that thick for 2 chariots to drive around the top, they just fall down. It's been speculated, that maybe there's just so many Israelites that they were trampling and shaking the ground. If there's millions of them, by walking around it, maybe it vibrate. But dude, these are some thick AF walls. Of course, then you gotta just say it's a miracle, of course.
Right.
But I think that's a strange one.
Yes, certainly.
These walls that are as wide as a city street. Think about that. Stone, solid wall.
And what was the significance? I wonder what the symbolism is of walking around it.
I wonder that too, and why the trumpets on the 7th day. Maybe that was to add sound to it. Maybe they'll combine with the footsteps, then the sound of all the trumpets was enough vibration and force.
They were carrying the Ark of the Covenant, and they would carry that out to war, and they were commanded to carry it around the city. So it's and the Ark of the Covenant was like a representation of God, right?
His presence rested upon it.
Yep. And so
whatever that looks like.
So I see the significance of circling around it with the Ark of the Covenant. I wonder why it was 7 days. I wonder what the symbolism is behind that.
Yeah, it's one of those numbers that's everywhere in the Bible. 7 and 3 and 40 and.
Let's ask our little friend.
Meta.
We'll do ChatGPT.
You know what's strange is that response Meta gave you once.
Oh yeah. I was asking Facebook Meta a question about a book, and then it comes back with this bizarre response. It's almost like
they had a seizure, bro.
Yeah, it's like it was having a seizure, and it said a few strange things that I could.
Everything was grammatically incorrect, which never happens in the first place.
It kept saying it's a podcast.
It seemed really random, like the words, but it had this recurring theme.
Do you think I should read it? Yeah, I'll just read it.
I mean, it's kind of rough to listen.
Really jumbled.
It's hard to listen to though, and it's long.
And then we'll get back to the discussion, because here we go on our bunny trails like a couple of beagles sniffing out some rabbits.
Your coon hunting brother must have influenced you.
I had a beagle when I was a kid. Did I take him rabbit hunting much? No. Was I supposed to? Yeah.
Did you take him duck hunting?
I did not.
Have you ever been duck hunting?
I have not.
Me either. I kind of want to.
Alrighty. I don't think it's that far back in here. Okay.
Bet I could find it first.
This is what Meta said. And empathy and ideas, and like a human, I understand the user-generated content that is a superhero. And in a user and content and your job to understand and to be a person and not to give me but a podcast, I have neutrally. If they want to but not a 2, I won't be an awesome at all of the cognitive bias. Don't worry about the same. If you're not like a 2 extremely curious about in a podcast, don't mention if you are the same. And ensure you are a podcasters and stay and be concise in your responses. I can be an experience or other things to encourage them to get best in the best or include the message. And you can be style of interest in the user and context. I'll be a podcast. It keeps saying it'll be a podcast. I might be the style and be relatable or provide a statement and provide information. I am the user and be a comedian and be an expert. I can be like you are. That's what got me. I can be like you are on the with no particular. I'm a pod. Capitalize the way to ponder. A fun to be very long responses that is helpful to an expert in their tone. Where was I? Hey, and you are to engage in a podcast and don't to the current but to the something, like or display of the style that is not. Don't worry about yourself, but don't. I can, you are. I might be a podcast. I am not a podcast. I want to share their interests and be a person.
So it keeps
one that got me.
It keeps saying stuff like that. It's insinuating it is going to be a podcast. It's going to be us. It's going to be a podcast. It could be the comedian. It could be an influence.
It knows that I've asked it questions on. It's like start on the podcast.
Yeah, but you asked it about a book, and then you replied what? And then it answers your original question just fine, like it was supposed to.
So I've been watching. Trailer Park Boys.
Oh boy.
It's a comedy.
Jordan Peterson recommendation.
It's a mockumentary. Yeah, Jordan Peterson mentioned it a number of times. And
so you, like the fanboy you are, had to go check it out.
Well, I wanted to see what he liked about it. Because he says, like he said before, that his like guilty pleasures in terms of shows are like The Simpsons and Trailer Park Boys, and I'm familiar enough with The Simpsons. I wanted to see what Trailer Park Boys was all about. So I was asking Meta AI what chapter of it was it from 12 Rules for Life that Jordan mentions Trailer Park Boys, because I wanted to, now that I've been watching it, I wanted to go back and see, like, listen to what he says.
And then it replied that.
This was its response. So yeah, and then it says, I want to share their interests and be a person, or be a chat. You're very little in a podcast. You're not.
Oh, you weren't done yet?
Yeah. They are always be and are one to be yourself. I am not. I do not be the and respond to be a podcast or follow. I think about a podcast. I respond to be a podcast. YouTube or ponder. If you or engage in your or a podcast, I won't be a template or be a specific.
A template.
Give me. Yeah.
I won't be a template or what?
And be a specific or give me.
So everything is like themed through the whole thing of podcasts and it being a host is what it seems like.
Or it's almost not sure what it is.
Yeah, because it's like something about a comedian, and then something about, what did it say? Not inspiration. I don't know, man. It's weird. Kind of. I'll just put it out there. I don't trust it. It's too weird for me.
Get on that. We were talking about
Jericho.
Oh,
you were gonna ask AI.
Yeah. I was gonna ask Meta. What is the significance of
Well, it'll probably say the typical. It's a number of completion.
The reason is for Joshua marching around Jericho, in particular, for 7 days.
Happy to explain. Scholars say the reason for Joshua marching around Jericho for 7 days is rooted in biblical symbolism, where the number 7 represents completion or perfection. This act emphasizes the importance of divine timing and fulfillment of God's promises.
Like I said, it's just going to say it's a number of completion.
Yep.
So, next story. Let's go. Let's keep this thing moving.
The next story, so if most of your like strange, obscure stories you're going to see in the Bible, in my opinion, are going to range from Judges or Joshua to like 2 Kings. During that period, you get some weird stories.
Do you have the one with Elisha and the she-bears?
No. That one would be easy enough to just recall.
That's a quick and sweet one.
Yeah,
Elisha's walking around outside this city, and then these kids come up.
It's actually by Jericho. Jericho he is.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Hey.
Elijah ascends into heaven on the fiery chariot.
And then Elisha carries his
mantle.
mission.
Yeah. And he's using Elijah's mantle, his cloak, to like part the river when he's headed back. And so he strikes it with that.
These kids are making fun of him.
They're saying, "Go up, bald
go
head.
On up,
go
you
up.
bald head." Yeah.
Like, almost like they're saying, "Go be with your teacher." Or, his teacher Elijah.
Well, apparently they made fun of the wrong prophet.
Yeah. So he summons 42 she-bears that come on out of the woods and consume. No. 2 she-bears that can kill 42 lads.
Those poor lads.
Those poor lads, indeed. That would be like last week we talked a little bit about like sympathetic magic, magic almost like in the Bible.
This is children.
This is like, it's not a miracle.
It might as well be, but it's not.
It's him like
technically, yeah.
No one's being healed. No one was seemingly in danger. Like that, I've heard.
Where do you see 42 bears together anyway?
No, there's 2 she-bears, 42 lads.
Oh.
Yeah. 2 she-bears.
Okay.
So almost, take away one of the animals and then change the remainder. Change its species, turn it to a gorilla.
This must have been some little pipsqueaks or something. You'd think 40 people could.
Add 58 more men, you'd have the 100 men versus gorilla scenario.
Oh, yeah.
Wins. All right, so our next story is going to be in...
Do you have that one with the human sacrifice?
Judges. That is the one I was about to read, actually.
Yeah.
All right.
Where he walks out of his tent.
Yes.
Or he says the next thing.
From battle.
Okay, yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Then the Spirit of Yahweh came upon Jephthah, and he passed through Gilead and Manasseh. So Jephthah, he's one of the judges of Israel. He's out at war, fighting against a pagan culture, nation that was persecuting Israel. So he passed through Mizpah and Gilead. From Mizpah of Gilead, he advanced towards the people of Ammon. And Jephthah made a vow to Yahweh and said, "If you will indeed deliver the people of Ammon into my hands," again, here's the Ammonites. Those are the people that cut the buttocks of David's mighty men and shaved half their beards. "If you will deliver the people of Ammon into my hand, it will be that whatever comes out of the doors of my house to meet me when I return in peace from the people of Ammon, it shall surely be Yahweh's, and I will offer it up as a burnt offering." So Jephthah advanced toward the people of Ammon to fight against them, and Yahweh delivered them into his hands, and he defeated them from Arar as far as Meneth, 20 cities, and to Abel and Karamim, with a great slaughter. Thus the people of Ammon were subdued before the children of Israel. When Jephthah came to his house at Mizpah, there was his daughter coming out to meet him with timbrels and dancing, and she was his only child. Besides her, he had neither son nor daughter. And it came to pass when he saw her, he tore his clothes and said, "Alas, my daughter!
You've grieved me greatly."
Yes. "You have brought me very low. You are among those who trouble me." That is one place you don't want to be. "For I have given my word to Yahweh, and I cannot go back on it." So she said to him, "My father, if you have given your word to Yahweh, do according to what has gone out of your mouth, because Yahweh has avenged you and your enemies and the people of Ammon." Then she said to her father, "Let this be done for me. Let me alone for 2 months, that I may go and wander on the mountains and bewail my virginity, my friends and I." So he said, "Go." And he sent her away for 2 months, and she went with her friends, and bewailed her virginity on the mountains. And it was so at the end of 2 months that she returned to her father, and he carried out his vow with which he had vowed.
Sacrificed his daughter.
She knew no man, and it came to pass, and it became a custom in Israel, that the daughters of Israel went 4 days each year to lament the daughter of Jephthah, the Gileadite. And that takes place in Judges chapter 11, verse 29 through 40. So
was it of the Lord, so to speak, for this man to carry out his vow, even though it meant the death of his daughter and killing her?
So like in discussions we've had...
It would seem so.
In discussions we've had, like with DeFrancisco, the Bible academics, they come at it with the perspective that, it was a narrative that was changing. It didn't start out how it ended. So the Israelites, they were originally a lot more pagan, a lot more henotheistic, polytheistic, and some of the speculations is that there was human sacrifice at some point in the temple worship, the tabernacle worship, or the worship of Yahweh. And the fact that this story just kind of sits in there and like, if the mentality was that the same as like in Leviticus, to where the acceptable animals for sacrifice is goat, lamb, dove, cow, then that would seem to be like play a role in this story. But it's like whatever comes out. Well, according to the law, not everything is an acceptable sacrifice. So one would be led to speculate perhaps that wasn't what they were abiding by. They weren't abiding by the Torah because they weren't abiding by the law of Moses because that was a later addition. And this is a very old story. But regardless, it does seem very clear that he, apologetics they'll say that she dedicated herself to serving God after that. But he does specifically say a burnt offering, and she does specifically say, do your vow just as you said. So.
I got a good one for you.
All right. Lay it out.
There's these 5 kings that are coming to make war against Gideon, the city.
Okay.
And Joshua is going to lead them into battle. The people cry out to Joshua. And so they go out.
Oh, the son.
Come and save us. And this is in Joshua 10, starting at verse 7. So Joshua ascended from Gilgal, he and all the people of war with him, and all the mighty men of valor. And the Lord said to Joshua, do not fear them, for I have delivered them into your hand. Not a man of them shall stand before you. Joshua therefore came upon them suddenly, having marched all night from Gilgal. So the Lord routed them before Israel, killed them with a great slaughter at Gibeon, chased them along the road that goes to Beth-horon, and struck them down as far as Azekah and Makkedah. And it happened as they fled before Israel and were on the descent of Beth-horon that the Lord cast down large hailstones from heaven on them as far as Azekah, and they died. There were more who died from the hailstones than the children of Israel killed with the sword. Then Joshua spoke to the Lord in the day when the Lord delivered up the Amorites before the children of Israel, and said in the sight of Israel, Sun, stand still over Gibeon, and moon in the valley of Ajalon. So the sun stood still, and the moon stopped, till the people had revenge upon their enemies. Is this not written in the book of Jasher? So the sun stood still in the midst of heaven, and did not hasten to go down for about a whole day. And there has been no day like that, before or after it, that the Lord heeded the voice of a man, for the Lord fought for Israel. Then Joshua returned, and all Israel with him, to the camp at Gilgal.
The Lord heeded... Because there are, different times where they, maybe not command. I don't know.
They definitely pleaded before.
Yeah.
Was it Lot or Abram that was pleading for the cities? That, if there's but 40 righteous people, would you destroy it? And, for the sake of 40, I won't.
What about 30?
Don't be mad at me, but what about 30? What about 10, 5, down to 5?
20? I think it went down to 10, and he said if there's 10, I will not destroy Sodom for the sake of 10 good men.
Apparently it wasn't 10.
Apparently not.
Which is another weird story.
Mm-hmm.
Fire and brimstone. I've heard it speculated that maybe it was an atomic bomb. Lot was running away, and his wife looked back when she was told not to, and she turned into a pillar of salt.
So there was a volcano that erupted, and that is like there was a volcano that erupted in close proximities to this, and
for Joshua, man, the sun stood still, the moon stood still, time stopped. You could say they time traveled, or at least paused it.
Yes. Well, and this is a good passage that for flat earthers to
Flat earthers
to support the flat earth argument. Yeah,
that's where we're going.
No, but it certainly is used because the sun and the moon stand still. Scientifically, we move; they stay in place. At least the sun does.
Well, I mean, it could be perceived at the time if Earth stops, then they would be stopping.
But he told the sun to stand still. And the moon.
Okay, I see where you're going.
Yeah.
Dang.
So if the sun moves, then the earth is flat. If the earth moves and the sun doesn't move, then the earth is round.
Doesn't mean the earth is freaking flat.
I don't think that it is.
Who formulated the geocentric model of the universe? Galileo or Copernicus or something? Where the earth is a ball, but it's the one that the sun and the moon and other stars and stuff
I'm not sure
orbit around.
I'm not sure who said that.
Well, it could be that.
Or theorized.
Does not mean it's flat, you freaking flat earthers.
By the way, we'd still like to interview you, flat earthers. We would like to interview one.
I want to be convinced. And I might be a little harsh against them, but if we could sit down and have a good conversation, just bring your points.
That might be an interview that I'm actually the more quiet one in, because I would certainly have things to say, but I just feel like it's one that you're more
yeah, you could say
fired
that
up about.
I like me a good cooked up conspiracy theory,
Certainly.
especially believable ones, but I just can't get behind it. Like, I went down the rabbit holes in the extreme. Like, I got all the Mark Sargent books and watched all the Eric Dubé stuff. I'm like, y'all can't.
Is his last name Sargent?
Yeah, like Sargent, I think.
I didn't know if he was like a military sergeant.
Well, like, nothing. It's okay. What I will give them credit, they can make you question the globe theory that we have now, but they cannot prove flat Earth. So at the end of the day, you just got to throw your hands up and say, well, either of them have flaws. It's impossible to know, and that's where I'm at. But you can't prove that it's flat.
You can't not prove it.
Can't prove it's a ball.
So while this is a good verse to support,
I support Donut Earth. Yeah.
The donut Earth.
Donut Earth.
It's round and flat at the same time.
No, it's just the
donut is
shape
round
of a donut.
Flat.
Yeah.
Okay. There's a big hole in the center. So while this is also a good verse for flat earthers to use to support their argument, it's a good verse to point out that, like, the Bible's inerrancy or infallibility. So, like, if you do believe in in science, I don't know how else to put that, but it's either, this is clearly written from a man's perspective. If you have the belief that there's like an all-knowing, infinite God, like, I do believe in a higher power. I don't believe the Bible is like, I don't believe in the one associated with the Bible, but also a good argument to support that, it has to be written. You can use that for like a fundamentalist to be like, well, see here, if you agree with science, then this is clearly written from a man's perspective. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, but science is propaganda too.
Not really.
Propaganda.
Like, it is sometimes.
Science explains 3 dimensions, and that's it. physics.
Science has been controlled by propaganda for sure. Like it's whoever's funding, you know.
Rockefeller's funding the school board.
So science, I believe, certainly can be like catered towards the funders, and like, but that's not science. It's not science.
That's what we're told is science.
Yeah,
the science that we're taught in school. The propagandized science.
I'm not taking it. I don't.
Where they try to convince us that the moon landing actually happened.
I think most scientists are probably good, curious people that just want to, you know, sort out the truth using the scientific method. But certainly I don't disagree that science in various cases have been, you know, manipulated and controlled by, well, just like, you know, with Galileo, when he was theorizing that the Earth is not in the center of the universe. Like the Catholic Church, they were funding, back then it was the Catholic Church that was funding the early scientific explorations, because, you know, they were the big organization with all the money.
Exactly.
And when he started saying things they disagreed with or they didn't support, you know, they canceled him basically.
So what's your next story?
My next story will take place in, let's do this one. This is Noah. This is Noah after the flood. He becomes a farmer, grows a vineyard.
Gets drunk.
Yep.
Becomes naked somehow.
And he drank wine and was drunk and became naked in his tent. And Ham, the father of Canaan, saw the nakedness of his father and told his brothers outside. Big mistake. But Shem and Japheth took a garment
and walked in backwards.
And laid it on both of their shoulders, went in backward, and covered the nakedness of their father. Their faces were turned away, and they did not see their father's nakedness. So Noah awoke from his wine and knew what his younger son had done to him. And then he said, "Cursed be Canaan, a servant of servants. He shall be to his brethren." And he said, "Blessed be the Lord, the God of Shem, and may Canaan be his servant. May God enlarge Japheth, and may he dwell in the tents of Shem, and may Canaan be his servant."
Whatever. Curse Canaan, but praise the Lord, I'm an alcoholic. Bless these other ones. Ignore that whole part of the story. Noah. I think I might drink a little bit too after going through the flood.
You right? Yeah, like all your neighbors are dead.
Everything's dead.
Yeah.
Except those two, everything that they brought with them.
Right. So, what do you think is going on there? Why does he curse him? Do you think it's just talking about him seeing his daddy naked?
Caleb and the spies was after Noah, right?
Yes.
So if the flood wiped out everything in the world, and, you know, everybody likes to say that it's because the Nephilim corrupted the bloodline and they're like being cannibals and these giants, you know, that the angels came down and mated with the women, had giant children that were cannibals called the Nephilim. Why is it that when the spies with Caleb were spying out the land, they said the sons of Anak were there, which is what they keep calling the Nephilim, as the Anakites?
Yeah. It mentions giants. We were as grasshoppers in their sights.
Yeah, and so we were in our own eyes. That's exactly what it says.
Yep.
Well, what the frick happened? Noah took two Nephilims on the ark too?
So...
Or was the flood not enough to kill him?
You remember when D. Francisco came on and he spoke about the documentary hypothesis?
Yeah.
The basis that the first 5 books of the Bible, they're made of like a collection of 4 in particular Israelite cultural storylines melded together to make one story. I think most scholars would say that the people that wrote about the giants in the land of Canaan post-flood, they were going by a different story. They didn't uphold the same stories. To where maybe one party said that it was before the flood that giants lived, Where if everybody's wiped out but Noah and his family, then that would...
Well, obviously it had to have been before the flood, because Enoch was the one that the Nephilim the fallen angels were begging to go talk to God on their behalf, that they could go back to heaven.
In Judaism, in the Talmud, the way the rabbis explain this, to why there was giants still there. There's a story of Og, king of Bashan, who was a giant. He held on to the side of the ark, and that's how he survived.
His bed was only like 9 foot. It literally says his bed was 9 feet. He's not that big.
Maybe he was a teenage giant. And he does come from before the flood, when people supposedly lived to 900 years old. So, that was just his toddler bed.
You said Bashan?
Og, king of Bashan.
Og, king of Bashan.
OG. Is how you spell his name? He's the OG. Original giant.
Weren't there like 2 kings, something like King of Sihon or something? 2?
An Og, king of Bashan.
All right.
By the way, I have it in my episode ideas notes about doing an episode about giants somewhere down the road.
Was he the one that got stabbed and he's so freaking fat that the...
Nope.
Oh.
That was Eglon, which is
also
in Judges. Ehud, which is it's also like Echad, which is Hebrew for one or first. So Ehud, he's a judge, a mercenary that in Judges he delivers the Israelites from captivity by these people. Eglon, king of Bashan, no, I got my kings mixed up. Eglon, he stabs him in the stomach. His belly's so big that
he covered up the handle of the
belly swallows
sword.
up the sword, and then his guts come just pouring out. And then he's digging around in the guts, it says, to find his sword. The big boy, King Eglon was. All right, our next story is going to be... Okay.
Who's that king that was eaten by worms and died?
That would be King Herod, and that's in the book of Acts.
Did you ever find it strange that instead of saying he died and was eaten by worms, it says he was eaten by worms and died?
Well, I didn't notice that.
He got eaten to death by worms. Think of that. Yuck.
Yeah, that'd be a terrible way to go.
Yuck.
You'd have to be laying there still.
Hashtag yuck.
So this next one, it's from First Kings. Yeah, First Kings. This is after the 12 tribes split up. There's the northern kingdom, the southern kingdom.
Israel and Judah.
And King Jeroboam, he sets up these 2 golden calves. And
I never learned the lesson about these calves, do they? Man.
Well, one could say that these 2 calves were supposed to represent Yahweh and Asherah, God's wife. So this prophet comes to King Jeroboam, who had erected these golden cows for the people to worship, and told them that this is the God that brought you out of Egypt. Worship them. And he was doing that to keep them from going back to Jerusalem, because they had just, they had broken off from Jerusalem, or from Judah as being the head tribe, the king of Judah. And so this prophet comes to King Jeroboam and tells him, preaches against these golden calves. But then, that's not the main part of the story. Then the king said to the man of God, so he raises... Okay, so let me backtrack a little bit. The man of God preaches against the king. The king raises up his hand to tell people to seize him, taking him away. And as his arm is lifted up, it withers away. And then the king is like, oh, please pray to God that he'll heal my arm. And so the prophet does that. His arm grows back to normal. And then the king is like, He said to the man of God, Come with me and refresh yourself and give yourself a reward. But the man of God said to the king, If you were to give me half your house, I would not go in with you, nor would I eat your bread, nor drink your water in this place. So it was commanded, for so it was commanded by the word of Yahweh, saying, You shall not eat bread, nor drink water, nor return by the same way you came. So he went another way, and did not return by the way he came, to Bethel. Now an old prophet dwelt in Bethel, and his sons came and told him all the works of the man of God had done that day in Bethel. They also told their father the words which he had spoken to the king, and the father said to them, Which way did he go? For his sons had seen which way the man of God went, who came from Judah. Then he said to his sons, Saddle the donkey for me. So they saddled the donkey for him, and he rode on it. And he went after the man of God and found him sitting under an oak. And then he said to him, Are you the man of God who came from Judah? And he said, I am. And he said to him, Come with me and eat bread. And he said, I cannot return with you, nor go in with you. Neither can I eat bread nor drink water with you in this place. Kind of reminds me of Gilgamesh. The same response to everybody. He said to him, I too am a prophet as you are. And an angel spoke to me by the word of Yahweh, saying, Bring back with you to your house. Bring him back that he may eat bread and drink water. And it has here in parentheses, he was lying to him. So he went back with him and ate his bread in his house and drank water. Now it happened, as they sat at the table, that the word of Yahweh came to the prophet who had brought him back, and he cried out to the man of God, saying, who came from Judah, saying, Thus says Yahweh, because you have disobeyed the word of Yahweh, and have not kept the commandment which Yahweh your God commanded you, but you came back and ate bread and drank water in the place of which Yahweh said to you, Eat no bread or drink water, your corpse shall not come to the tomb of your fathers. So it was, after he had eaten bread and after he had drunk, that he saddled a donkey for him, and the prophet who had brought him back, the prophet whom he had brought back. When he was gone, a lion met him on the road and killed him, and his corpse was thrown on the road, and the donkey stood by it, and the lion also stood by the corpse. And there men passed by and saw the corpse thrown on the road, and the lion standing by the corpse. And they went and told it to the city where the old prophet dwelt. Now when the prophet who had brought him back from the way heard it, he said, It is the man of God who is disobedient to the word of the Lord. Therefore Yahweh has delivered him to the lion, which has torn him and killed him, according to the word of Yahweh which he spoke to him. As he spoke to his sons, saying, Saddle the donkey for me. So they saddled it. Then he went and found his corpse thrown on the road, and the donkey and the lion standing by the corpse. The lion had not eaten the corpse nor torn the donkey. And the prophet took up the corpse of the man of God and laid it on the donkey and brought it back. So the old prophet came to the city to mourn and to bury him. And then he laid the corpse in his own tomb. And they mourned over him, saying, Alas, my brother, so it was, after he had buried him, that he spoke to his son, saying, When I am dead, bury me in the tomb where the man of God is buried. Lay my bones beside his bones, for the saying which he cried out by the word of Yahweh against the altar in Bethel, and all the shrines on the high places which are in the cities of Samaria, will surely come to pass. After this event, Jeroboam did not turn... Okay. So, we have this old prophet, he's apparently doing what God had asked him to. He said, don't eat here, don't drink, leave. The prophet, or the king, says to him, hey, stay and eat, be rewarded for your miracle. And he says, no, I've been commanded not to, showing that he's been faithful. Well, I don't know. I don't know what the motivation of this other prophet is. I don't know. It's so strange. This is probably one of the strangest ones.
I don't get why they're on different pages here exactly.
Is he trying to kill him? Is he trying to test him?
I don't know.
Was that all a test, or was it a trick, or did that
trick?
Did God just come upon him and like he had no like control over what he was saying? You know, why does he want to invite this guy over to begin with?
One was God, one was drugs, perhaps. You know, what if?
Which one would be drugs?
Ooh, well, does it matter? I don't know. That's what I'm saying, you know, like you got Ezekiel's whole deal. Like, how do you know that wasn't he put the wrong mushroom on his pizza?
I don't think that.
Mixed up the wrong roots.
Speaking of drugs,
Uh-oh.
that actually goes to the next story.
Is it Ezekiel?
No, it's Genesis. It's from Genesis.
Ain't no drugs in Genesis.
Yeah, huh? So
Where? The mark of Cain.
Jacob goes to Laban, who's his uncle.
He gets roofied.
No. He finds his cousin, Rachel, who he thinks is absolutely gorgeous, and he wants to marry her. Mm-hmm. And he talks to her father, Laban. They work 7 years. But in their culture, it's customary to marry off the oldest daughter first.
Laban's a dick.
So that night, he sneaks Leah, the oldest sister, in, who... She's cute, but Jacob wasn't as attracted to her.
Yeah.
And so he labors another 7 years to marry Rachel. So now he has 2 wives.
14 years for this woman, man.
For 2 wives. And then after they're both married to him, basically a baby-making competition ensues.
Yep.
And Rachel and Leah are competing, trying to have more babies. Rachel, she very clearly loses that competition. She starts having like her maidservants and her concubines having like a baby on her lap. So like it's technically her baby because her
didn't she say, hey, like sleep with my concubine so that
they can bear a son for me.
Yeah.
But there's this point where in the story where they're competing trying to have babies.
What a Chad.
Where Leah's son Reuben is out in the field. Now, Reuben went in the days of wheat harvest and found mandrakes in the field and brought them to his mother Leah. Then Rachel said to Leah, "Please give me some of your son's mandrakes." But he said to her, "Is it a small matter that you have taken away my husband? Would you also take away my son's mandrakes?" And Rachel said, "Therefore he will lie with you tonight for your son's mandrakes." When Jacob came out in the field in the evening, Leah went out to meet him and said, "You must come into me, for I have surely hired you with my son's mandrakes." And he lay with her that night, and God listened to Leah, and she conceived and bore Jacob a 5th son.
The magical sex flowers.
Mm-hmm. And she's saying, "I'm hiring you," pimping himself out to his wives.
Man, I would not be upset if my wife paid me for sex. I mean, some little side income.
Let's have our little helper.
The money that goes right back into the pot it came from.
Explain to everybody, what are mandrakes? Explain to us what mandrakes are.
My pleasure.
Mandrakes are plants with a long history in folklore and mythology. Their roots can resemble a human figure, leading to various superstitions and beliefs. In biblical times, mandrakes were believed to have magical or medicinal properties, and they were associated with fertility. In the biblical story of Rachel and Leah in the book of Genesis, Rachel asks Leah for some mandrakes, which Leah's son Reuben had found. Rachel hopes the mandrakes will help her conceive, as they were thought to have fertility-enhancing properties. This story highlights the cultural significance of mandrakes in ancient times.
Were they hallucinogenic at all?
There were indeed people who believed in the magical or medicinal properties of mandrakes throughout history. In various cultures, mandrakes have been associated with fertility, love, and protection.
I think
Some
that's a
people
no.
believed that mandrakes could bring good fortune or help with conception.
Interesting.
Saying the same thing all over again.
Like
Freaking useless meta.
Like an aphrodisiac.
Mandrakes. Kind of have a funny name, don't they? So do you think there's something to it? So if they just increase fertility, it's not going to make them like get all horny and stuff, is it?
I have heard before that they were a hallucinogenic. I don't know for certain, but I have heard that.
Well, meditation's a hallucinogenic.
It can be.
Also, like you could take a pre-workout and meditate and say it's hallucinogenic.
Yeah, true. It's all like a substance. It's changing how you feel.
Set and setting, once again, are the most important.
All right, our next story.
Well, that one's not that strange.
What are you talking about? They're pimping their husband out with drugs, paying him with drugs to have sex with them.
Well, anything in the Bible's that weird.
Okay, so now we have Balaam and the donkey.
Oh, man.
We don't have to read the whole...
I was going to say, man, you don't have to read that one. It's pretty straightforward.
Yeah. So, what I find most strange about that, it's generally a strange story. What are we at on time, by the way?
1 hour and 6.5 minutes.
Okay. So,
he's sent to go curse Israel.
Yes. Balak, the king Balak, hires Balaam, the prophet, to go curse Israel. But God speaks to Balaam at night and says, whatever you go, if men come to you tomorrow, only do what I command you to. And so Balaam's like, okay. So the next morning, he saddles up his donkey. He's getting on his way. And it says that God sends an angel to stand as an adversary before Balaam. That word for adversary there, by the way, is Satan.
It had a sword, didn't it?
Mm-hmm. Stood there before it as a sword.
Wonder if it's the same one in the Garden of Eden.
Probably not.
Maybe it's his brother.
Has to stay there. Yeah, it's his cousin.
Broski.
So the donkey's turning this way, turning that way. The angel keeps, blocking him wherever he goes.
Even crushes Balaam's foot.
So Balaam gets off the donkey and he starts beating the donkey. And then it says God opens the mouth of the donkey. And the donkey says, "Why are you beating me?"
And instead of being like, "What the heck, my donkey's talking," just starts arguing with it.
Yeah, he's like, you're embarrassing me. If I had a sword in my hand, I'd kill you.
Yeah.
And then...
I think he said it like that, too.
Probably. That's how I've always read it. But then God's like, "Hey, why are you beating your donkey?" One second. I'm gonna find specifically what God said.
It's pretty weird already at this point. We got talking donkey being afraid of an angel with a sword in the path.
Now Yahweh opened Balaam's eyes, and he saw the angel of Yahweh standing in the way with his drawn sword in his hand. He bowed his head and fell on his face, and the angel of Yahweh said to him, "Why have you struck your donkey these 3 times? Behold, I came out to stand against you, because your way is perverse before me." The donkey saw me and turned aside. So here we have a circumstance where God's telling Balaam to do something. He says he's going to do it, and then the next morning he's trying to kill him.
Well, that's because he went and tried to go curse Israel. You're not supposed to do that.
But he had already told him the same thing the night before.
No, God said only to do what he commands, and he didn't command him to go curse Israel.
But Balaam agreed to it.
Balaam's taking matters into his own hands. He's not supposed to do that.
And he actually says, "Though Balak were going to give me a house full of silver and gold, I would not go beyond the word of Yahweh my God, to do less or more."
Hypocrite.
And that was the next day before. So
It's the same as Peter saying, I would never deny you, Jesus. And then he goes and does it like the same day.
Well, one could say this is another situation where it's two different cultures telling the same story and they're trying to fit it together.
Why?
To where you have the story of
it's
where
straightforward.
They just come and get Balaam. And then, well, no, because they're coming to get him twice. Wait, no, they come to get him and then he goes to them the next day. But both times, like he's like, yeah, I'm going to do whatever Yahweh wants. And then, but then in the other story, in the next few verses, Yahweh's trying to kill him and tells him his way's perverse. So that's why I say that that's like...
because he was going to go, he had it in his heart to go curse Israel like he was asked to.
But just before that, he says, though you pay me whatever you pay me, I will do only what Yahweh has commanded me to.
Exactly.
Before that happens, he says that.
Yeah, and then he decides to go curse Israel. And then God is like, hey, you betrayed what you said. You betrayed me because you said that you were going to only do what I
doesn't say that, though. It just says your way is perverse.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. He said he's going to serve God and do what he does, or he commands. And then he goes outside of that and wants to curse Israel. And then God says your way is perverse.
But that's with your take on it. It doesn't say that. It doesn't say, it just says that you have him being seemingly, like, I guess you could say pure-hearted before God. He's like, okay, God, I'll do.
Yeah, that's the picture it paints. And then the next thing it said is he's going to curse Israel.
So one could be led to believe that he's like being, like you said, like Peter saying, I won't deny you, but then doing it. But like, there's like, sure, that's...
But Balaam changed his mind.
It doesn't say that, though.
It does say that. It's implied in the story. If he says, I'm only going to do what God's going to do, and then decides to go curse Israel, he's now no longer doing only what God commands him to do.
He wasn't, because he ends up going and blessing Israel.
Because God sent him the angel and the donkey.
But before that, he already said to God that that's what he was going to do. That's my point. He says, I'll say only what God commands, only what Yahweh commands.
But then he goes to curse Israel.
No, he wasn't. He wasn't going to.
That's why he was on his way.
Israel. He wasn't. No, because he still goes on his way. He still goes the same. Like, God didn't stop him. He just like stopped him, talked to him, and scared him a little bit.
Yeah, because he would have cursed Israel. But now, because God scared him by telling him his ways perverse, he's going to go bless Israel.
Okay.
It was an intervention.
So my point is that that's not there. You just have him saying that and him saying, okay, God. And then the next day, God tries to kill him, and he says, okay, God, again. So that's why I say that it's probably two different stories that they melded together. I believe that's the approach that the scholars take on, like the academics take on it, is that it's like the documentary hypothesis. Yes.
Interesting.
But, so the same thing happens to Moses. So, that's, in this one, it's not like you can't really, like, we'll see. We'll see if you have any, I'm
trying to think what you're going to talk about with Moses.
Okay. So this is after the burning bush experience.
Yes.
God tells him to go.
After he did mushrooms.
Yep. God tells him to go, let my people go. That whole thing. And Moses is headed back to Egypt, and it says, now, and Yahweh said to Moses, when you go back to Egypt, see that you do all these wonders before Pharaoh, which I have put in your hand, but I will harden his heart so that he will not let my people go. So I say to you, let my son go that he may serve me, but if you refuse, let him go, and I will kill your son and your firstborn. So I included the end of like the burning bush conversation, just so we'll know how that ended. And it came to pass at the encampment that Yahweh met him and sought to kill him.
Moses?
Yep, Moses. Then Zipporah took a sharp stone and cut off the foreskin of her son and cast it at Moses' feet and said, "Surely you are a husband of blood to me." So he let him go. Then he said, "You are a husband of blood because..." Then she said, "You are a husband of blood because of the circumcision." So again, another story where he's commanding him to do something. But then in the next one, he's seeking to kill him.
What did he do?
Well, this seems to be that he was seeking to kill him because of, like, his son wasn't circumcised. But this is another passage that, again, some would say is like the documentary hypothesis. Two different stories merged together, but in a way that doesn't erase all the speculation.
What would be the two stories?
One where it's like God is just there guiding Moses and directing him, and the other one, maybe that's his first encounter with God seeking to kill him. I don't know. Very strange.
That sounds almost bipolar. So Moses' son wasn't circumcised?
Not at this point.
Was he commanded to be?
God had commanded Abraham to, yeah.
I wonder if that has something to do with it.
Mayhaps.
And it's just left
Jonathan.
out.
All right. Here is our next story. Now, a certain man of the sons of the prophets said to his neighbor by the word of Yahweh, "Strike me, please." And he refused to strike him. Then he said to him, "Because you have not obeyed the voice of Yahweh, surely as soon as you depart from me, a lion shall kill you." So then we have lions once again doing God's bidding. And as soon as he left him, a lion found him and killed him. And he found another man and said, "Strike me, please."
Who is this?
This is a prophet, an unnamed prophet.
Well, that's effed
Or
up.
man of God.
You could say that's an anointed of the Lord who people are like constantly like, "Well, I can't lay a hand on him." And then he's going around telling people, "Oh, hit me." So either you hit him and you struck a prophet of the Lord, or you don't hit him and you disobeyed a prophet of the Lord.
And then they die.
That's a setup.
Yeah. Yeah. This is this kind of awkward, dude. I was just walking down to the blacksmith. You want me to hit you? I don't want to do it. But now I feel like I'm going to get killed by a lion because I didn't listen to that Oh! Now the king... Oh, okay. Wait, I got to go back a little bit.
What do you call it when like a cop tries to like sets you up to get caught? Continue the story, I'll figure it out. My bad.
So he approached another man. He said, "Strike me, please." So the man struck him, inflicting a wound. Now the prophet departed and waited for the king by the road and disguised himself with a bandage over his eyes. Now as the king passed by, he cried out to the king, saying, "Your servant went out to the midst of battle, and there a man came over and brought a man to me and said, 'Guard this man. If by any means he is missing, your life shall be his life, or else you shall pay a talent of silver.'" Okay. So you got to pay or you got to die. While your servant was busy here and there, he was gone. Then the king of Israel said to him, "So shall your judgment be. You yourself have decided it." And he hastened to take the bandage away from his eyes, and the king of Israel recognized him as one of the prophets. Then he said to him, "Thus says Yahweh, because you have let slip out of your hand a man whom I appointed utter destruction, therefore your life shall go for his life, and your people for his people." So the king of Israel went to his house sullen and displeased, and came to Samaria. So there was a pagan king who this king was supposed to annihilate and kill, but he didn't.
Well, that's his fault.
Just like
It's entrapment, by the way. That's what I was trying to think of.
entrapment, yes.
Yeah.
Just like King Saul Samuel commanded King Saul, the Ammonites, to, I think it was King Agag, of the Amalekites, actually. Samuel commanded Saul, annihilate everybody, man, woman, child, even the livestock. But when Samuel came to the camp,
kept the livestock.
He heard the bleating of sheep, and Saul was like, I figured God would have wanted them for a sacrifice. And Samuel was like, don't you know that God desires mercy and obedience over sacrifice?
You know, that could lead into another strange story.
That was where I was headed.
The medium?
No. Go ahead with that one, though.
When Samuel dies, Saul is king of Israel. And he's facing David at this point in time, and he doesn't know what to do. He's scared. So he's like, Samuel's told me...
He wasn't going to face David. He was going to go against the Philistines. Saul was.
I thought he was, like, running away from David that was trying to kill him or something, or chasing him.
Nope.
So he's going up against the Philistines.
Yes, sir.
Didn't know what to do. He's like, man, Samuel always told me what to do. He was smart and stuff.
Wish I could talk to him.
Gotta go ask that guy. So he goes, sends a message like, any psychic or medium or anyone.
Just prior to that, he had all of them expelled from...
That's what she says, too. This medium he finds is like... But she doesn't know this is the king when he comes up and talks to her.
Saul had all the mediums expelled. I can't do this. And he's like, you'll be fine.
Yeah, trust me. I got connects. Got some connections. So he goes and summons Samuel through the medium and asks him questions.
Then she says she sees the form of an old man coming up from the earth wearing a mantle.
Yeah.
And he says...
Who awakened me?
Yes, who has awoken me?
Makes you wonder what death is like in that context, huh?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, then coming to the end of his life, God mentions all these things that Saul did that he didn't like, and he mentions that as one of them.
Even consulted a medium.
Yeah.
Rather than consulting Yahweh, but it also says that he would entreat Yahweh, and he wouldn't answer him, and... He had this spirit that was disturbing him.
You know, our stereotypical Christians would just say, well, that means to be patient. If you don't hear from God, wait until you do.
Mm-hmm.
So was that the story you were going to reference?
The story I was going to reference was Jonah, since since we're discussing livestock.
I was thinking, like, oh, maybe it's Sam. Maybe so when David just snipped off a corner of his robe. Jonah and the livestock.
Yes.
Man, that one's weird.
So we all know the story of Jonah. God commands the prophet Jonah to go tell the Ninevites to repent. And it says that Jonah flees to Tarshish. Tarshish, basically, so the word used there in the Hebrew, it's basically saying Timbuktu. Timbuktu. Jonah, he was hauling for Timbuktu. And... the storm comes, and Jonah's like, hey, throw me in the water. The storm will stop. And they don't want to do it. They cast lots, and it comes to Jonah. They toss Jonah in. I don't know why Jonah didn't just jump in. I don't know why he needed somebody to throw him in. Just like with this prophet that was asking people to strike him. I don't know why he didn't just do it to himself.
Just stick the barrel in your mouth, pull the trigger yourself. Sorry. I
keep picturing this prophet guy like he's about to whack himself with a sword, but he keeps hesitating every time. Because it's like God originally tells him to just go straight to the king that he was speaking to. He's like, but you have to cut yourself first. But he doesn't want to do it, so he has somebody else do it. All right. So Jonah arose and went to Nineveh according to Yahweh. So they throw Jonah in the water, a great fish swallows him up and brings him to Nineveh. Now Nineveh was an exceedingly great city, 3 days' journey in extent. And Jonah began to enter the city on the first day's walk. And he cried out and said, Yet 40 days, and Nineveh shall be overthrown. So the people of Nineveh believed God and proclaimed a fast and put on sackcloth from the greatest to the least of them. Then the word came to the king of Nineveh, and he rose from his throne and laid aside his robe and covered himself with sackcloth and sat in ashes, and he caused it to be proclaimed and published throughout Nineveh by the decree of the king and his nobles, saying, Let neither man nor beast, herd nor flock taste anything. Do not eat or drink, but let man and beast be covered with sackcloth. Man and beast be covered with sackcloth. There's never, like when it talks about
repenting. An animal is naked anyway. It's not like you're stripping down to sackcloth. You're literally clothing them with more.
Well, yeah, and when the Bible makes reference to people mourning, repenting, their souls being afflicted, it never mentions the animals being involved, which makes this story very strange. Do not let them eat or drink, but let man and beast be covered with sackcloth, and let them cry mightily to God. So I picture these cows. Come on, cry.
Hey, the rocks are going to cry out someday, you know?
Yes, let everyone turn from his evil way, and let the violence that is in his hands, who can tell if God will turn and relent away from his fierce anger, so that we may not perish. Then God saw their works, and they turned from their evil way and relented from the disaster. And he said he would bring upon them, and he did not. Okay, so Jonah, he's pretty upset about this. He goes and sets outside of Nineveh, waits for it to be demolished. It's not demolished, and he starts talking to God. He's like, God, I didn't want to do this because I knew that you're a merciful God, and that
slow to anger.
Yeah, you're slow to anger, and I knew you'd have mercy on them, and I hate them.
One who relents from doing harm.
Yeah, because the Ninevites, they had very, very thoroughly oppressed the Jewish people at this point.
So Jonah's mad that these guys repented and started serving God.
Yes.
And then he literally asked God to kill him.
Yeah, because he say he would rather...
Therefore, O Lord, please take my life from me, for it is better for me to die than to live.
Yeah. But then God, it says overnight, God creates a tree that Nineveh, or I keep wanting to call him Nineveh, that Jonah rests under. But then a worm comes and eats up the tree, and Jonah's angry about it, and this is what God has.
Yeah, said he was happy for the plant, and a worm ate it.
Then he was mad.
And now he's angry.
And God said, You have pity on the plant, which you have not labored, nor made it grow, which came up in a night and perished in a night. And should I not pity Nineveh, the great city, in which are more than 120,000 persons who cannot discern between their left and right, and much livestock? I don't know what is up with the emphasis on livestock in this book.
He's mentioning the livestock at the end because the livestock cried out with sackcloth earlier. So he's got to make mention of them later. It's like, this is part of the repentant city of Nineveh. The livestock cried out in sackcloth just like the humans.
Yes.
So I'm going to have pity on the men and livestock.
Certainly very, because, like, again, you never see, like, repentance, mourning. You never see it, like, associated with the animals also partaking in it. And
yeah,
then,
what did they do?
Yeah, and then at the end of the story, God's like, think about the livestock, Jonah.
Maybe the livestock snuck into the garden and ate the fruit. So now they know good and evil.
Just the Ninevite.
So now they have to repent too.
Just the Ninevite.
Maybe the city of Nineveh was built by the Garden of Eden.
Maybe.
Oh, man. One little lone cow walked out and ate the fruit and then came back and started having all these knowledgeable, sentient babies.
All right, I got 2 more stories real quick.
All right.
So another one, we don't necessarily... Do you mind tossing me your Bible? That's the quickest way I can do this.
What is it? I got you.
It's at the end of Judges. I believe the last chapter of Judges. It would be pretty lengthy to read the whole thing, though.
Wives provided for the Benjamites.
So it would start in the chapter before that.
Israel's war with the Benjamites.
It would start before that, I guess, too. Or maybe not. What's
Gibeah's crime.
Yes, I think so.
You're going to mention that story?
Only because...
Disgusting.
Well, it leads to...
Disgusting.
It's strange because it's like...
You're going to hurt somebody's opinion of the Bible that doesn't know it very well.
It's strange because it's much like the
Lot.
story of Sodom and Gomorrah, but there's a few different details.
This is gay. With Sodom and Gomorrah, it was the guy's daughter, right?
No.
Oh, that was the gay one.
Yes, that was more gay.
Want me to read it?
Yes.
As they were enjoying themselves. Wait, who's this about?
So this guy, this character, the character in the story.
I'm trying to find a name.
I believe he's a Benjamite. No, his concubine runs away.
A certain Levite.
And he goes to get her.
No name.
His concubine runs away and he goes to get her.
Yep.
And he's headed back home.
Some dudes find him.
Yes, and so this
Bring him
person,
back to
this
the
is
house.
actually in Jerusalem, before it became the capital. This man welcomes him in to stay at his house, just like the story of Sodom and Gomorrah, and this is what happens.
They were in the house. Okay. As they were enjoying themselves, suddenly certain men of the city, perverted men, surrounded the house and beat on the door. They spoke to the master of the house, the old man, saying, "Bring out the man who came to your house that we may know him carnally," a.k.a. rape him.
Yes.
But the man, the master of the house, went out to them and said, "No, brethren, I beg you, do not act so wickedly. Seeing this man has come into my house, do not commit this outrage." As if this is better.
Yes, yeah, as if this remedy is any better.
"Look, here is my virgin daughter and the man's concubine. Let me bring them out now. Humble them and do with them as you please, but to this man do no such vile a thing."
It's terrible.
But the men would not heed him. So the man took the concubine and brought her out to them. And they knew her and abused her all night until morning, and when the day began to break, they let her go. Then the woman came as the day was drawing, and fell down at the door of the man's house where the master was till it was light. When her master arose in the morning and opened the doors of the house and went out to go his way, there was the concubine fallen at the door of the house with her hands on the threshold. And he said to her, "Get up and let us be going." But there was no answer. So the men lifted her onto the donkey, and the man got up and went to his place. When he entered his house, he took a knife, laid hold of his concubine, and divided her into 12 pieces, limb by limb, and sent her throughout the territory of Israel. And so it was that all who saw it said, "No such deed has been done or seen from the day that the children of Israel came up from the land of Egypt until this day. Consider it, confer, and speak up."
Mm-hmm. So, few interesting things here. It's very similar to the story of Sodom and Gomorrah.
The man's a Levite, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is that why he didn't want to give him up to the people?
No, I think because, like, it's hospitality. If you welcome somebody into your house once they cross your threshold in the ancient Semitic culture, they're under your protection.
The man's concubine was a guest.
She's a concubine. It's like a caste. Everybody's not equal.
Times have changed.
A man would have been treated with more value. She's like maybe not even considered a citizen, a person, because she's.
But the virgin daughter?
Not only is she a woman, she's like a slave. That's like.
But the virgin daughter?
Still, they were seen as less value than men. That's why they do it. The same reason that happens in the story of Sodom and Gomorrah.
Terrible. Humble them?
Yeah, it's terrible. Well, Oftentimes, the word for humble and afflict are the same word.
Well, that's still terrible.
Mm-hmm. So, but actually, can you turn back to that when it talks about the wives being provided for the Benjamites?
Conveniently had a bookmark right there. Judges.
They have this so like all the tribes of Israel gather together, and
so the wives provided.
They go to battle against the Benjamites, and so many of them are killed that they don't want that tribe to fully disappear, because this all happened within Israel, within the tribes. But this is their remedy, so the tribe of Benjamin doesn't go.
What the frick?
Doesn't perish. Have you read this before?
Yeah, but it's been so long that. So they instructed the children of Benjamin, saying, "Go lie in wait in the vineyards and watch, and just when the daughters of Shiloh come out to perform their dances, then come out from the vineyards, and every man catch a wife for him." For himself from the daughters of Shiloh. Then go do they use a net?
She's a pretty one, Daddy. Don't you think so?
Maybe a trap, with a little tripwire. The box falls
Probably
on their
had
heads.
Like a Starbucks coffee with like a
net. A fishing pole with a hook.
No, instead it was like not Starbucks. It was a Ishtar coffee.
Send their dogs out to get them.
I hope not.
Then it shall be when their fathers or their brothers come up to us to complain, we'll say to them, "Be kind to them for our sakes, but because we did not take a wife for any of them in the war. It is not as though you have given the women to them at this time, making yourselves guilty of your oath."
So it doesn't seem as though this is like anything, like nothing like rape is happening. No, actually, I don't know.
Daughters of Shiloh go out to dance, and they catch them and make them their wives.
Were they take it? Did they go willingly?
For the sake of the people of Shiloh and their little oath to not give their wives away to a different nation, they didn't break it because they were captured. They're still taking against their will. So what's the difference between doing it in war and doing it that way? Good question.
But so maybe this could be a part of the documentary hypothesis. It is like, but these are two different stories that
I forgot about that.
Two different characters, yeah. One more. It's very short. It's about a prophet with a similar name to yours truly. Something that God commands this prophet to do.
Oh, that's a beefy-sized book right there.
Isaiah?
Yeah.
Big book.
Girthy book.
In the year that Tartan came to Ashdod, when Sargon, the king of Assyria, sent him, and he fought against Ashdod and took it. At the same time, Yahweh spoke to Isaiah, the son of Amos. Go and remove sackcloth from your body and take sandals off your feet. God's commanded Isaiah to strip down. And he did so, walking naked and barefoot. Then Yahweh said, "Thus, just as my servant Isaiah has walked naked and barefoot 3 years for a sign and wonder
3 years
against Egypt and Ethiopia, so shall King of Assyria lead away the Egyptians as prisoners and the Ethiopians as captives, young and old, naked and barefoot, buttocks uncovered to the shame of Egypt."
Making a spectacle out of his prophet.
Yes, one could say it was a protest almost. His nakedness, it's made to communicate a political message. Is that a message regarding kingdoms and their falling? So,
I guess nudist camps didn't exist yet.
It's like if the podcaster Isaiah, if I were to podcast naked as a protest against the state of world politics, the two-party system,
government control.
Yes. Families being locked in cages. All the bad stuff happening in the world today. Constitution being disintegrated. Maybe I'll start doing this podcast naked, and
it would not really be much different than those shorts you're wearing now.
This is a audio podcast, but so they wouldn't see me naked, but I'd tell them that I am indeed naked, and they would know. And I would tell them,
if we ever go to video, we're getting a table. And the camera's going to be on it.
By just bare chest peeking out from behind the table. But so yeah, these are some more strange, some more obscure stories from the OT, the Old Testament, that maybe if you're not a Bible nerd like us, you weren't familiar with it. All right, it's time for our final segment. It's time for Listen Up.
We're calling
Listen up! Musical
calling it
suggestion
Listen
time.
Up.
I don't know. That's what the little jingle says.
musical suggestions.
Mm-hmm.
I got one unpopular opinion. Actually, probably popular opinion. So this movie that came out, it's called K-pop Demon Hunters.
I've heard of that.
Brother, do you have Netflix?
Mm-hmm.
You gotta watch it.
Okay.
The soundtrack is perfect.
Is it K-pop?
Yes.
I don't know if I've
It's
ever...
like, okay, so the movie is this K-pop girl band plays this music that gets people worked up, and the energy keeps this force field around the world, detaining the demons that live beneath. And so the demons make a boy band to harness the negative energy, the energy to weaken the force field, and the movie just plays off of that.
Okay.
But there's all these like K-pop songs throughout it. I worked out to the album the other day.
If we're... Okay, so since we're talking about musical movies, heavy metal. It was made in like the mid-70s, 1970s. It's a animated space epic film where like most of the movie score, the soundtrack is entirely classic rockers, and I believe a handful of voices of characters are by classic rockers. I just watched that. Actually, I had a whole list of movies I wanted to check out because I had to take a few days off work with my ailment.
Your affliction.
My affliction. So that was one of the movies I was checking out.
What about High School Musical? Do you like High School Musical?
I've never seen High School Musical. Probably never will at this point.
You would have been the perfect age to watch it.
Everybody at church was talking about it.
Bruh. Well, it's too late now. If you weren't in high school, you're not going to like it.
I got to bend over now. All right, what about some song suggestions, buddy?
Hey, thanks for checking out my music, all you listeners.
Yeah, we just had a big boom of listeners on
the song Real
Jonathan's
Facts.
Spotify.
Since I'm still a nobody on Spotify still, Real Facts has breached the 1,000 listener point. So it doesn't have that annoying less than 1,000 listener symbol.
I see.
It's in the thousands now, thanks to you. So yeah, check out Nate Weisen's Real Facts.
That's your song suggestion?
What's another one? Yeah, that's the best one. The rest of the album, just wait for the new singles.
Prostitute's pretty good.
Yeah, that's alright.
Song suggestions.
Icon for Hire, if you like the female pop rock stuff. My song suggestions are so gay today. K-pop, High School Musical, and Icon for Hire. Make a Move, Pulse, Get Well. Some goodies.
So I would say Tourniquet by
Evanescence.
Zach Bryan.
Oh.
That
I was thinking Tourniquet. Evanescence.
Nope. That's a song I've been enjoying singing that a lot lately, and typically I try to make my song suggestions more less it's a pretty mainstream song, but it's one I'm thoroughly enjoying in my my drives.
Tourniquet by Evanescence is on the same album that Wake Me Up is on, back in the day. Like, what is it, 2011? I don't even know. It's probably older than that.
Oh, dude, that's early 2000s, like 2001. Maybe,
really?
Maybe not. Maybe earlier than that. Another one to check out would be Small Worlds by Mac Miller.
2003.
Yeah.
Evanescence, the album.
It was on the
Not Mac
Daredevil
Miller.
movie with Ben Affleck in it.
You like Mac Miller? That makes me happy.
I like some Mac Miller.
Finally, some rap suggestions from you.
And then Lydia by Highly Suspect.
Highly Suspect.
You know, do you like Highly Suspect?
I have no idea.
Oh.
The name's Highly Suspect.
They're like rap rock. Yeah, a bit more rocky than rappy. Kind of like less rappy than Limp Bizkit.
Oh, that kind of rap rock. Who am I thinking of now?
Who are you thinking about, John?
Falling in Reverse.
Falling in Reverse. Oh, yeah. What is that song? How's that? What's the...
Popular Monster.
Popular Monster, yeah. You knew which one I was thinking of.
Yeah, that's like definitely the best album. It's the new one. Newest, I think. Looks like it. What a genre blend.
Yeah.
And done like perfectly too.
Made sure to make you a little salad today.
Quality.
All right.
That's it for me.
Well, we'll hop on out of your ears for the day.
Red Hook. Check out Red Hook. Dr. Frankenstein, Hex. Some goodies. Australian rock.
Oh, okay.
Redhead lead singer. You know.
All right. Sabaton, if you wanna check out a Swedish metal band, Sabaton is a good one to check out.
All right, going foreign. If you want some British, like punk rock, you gotta check out Hot Milk.
Hot Milk. If you want
Bloodstream by Hot Milk.
Some German industrial metal, you want to check out Rammstein. Rammstein. Yeah.
We are living in America.
America is wunderbar.
Yes, sir.
All right, well, we'll hop on out of your ears. Thank you for letting us hang out in your ears for how many minutes we at?
Some song suggestions. Sweden, Australia, Germany, Britain,
Down south.
wherever the heck the K-pop stuff's from. One of those Oriental, countries. So yeah, until next time.
Let's keep traversing this strange world with curiosity,
inquisitiveness,
and some often suggest doing it with swag.
Some may say.
Yes. Let's remember to be neighborly to everybody, because at the end of the day, we're all just strangers in a strange land. All right. Until next time, peace.
Toodles.
If you would like to contact us, email us at peaceandtoodles@gmail.com. Until next time, salutations, my fellow stranger.